Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome to I Am the Hammer, the show in which we talk all things Grey Knights. The book has been out for a while now. Is it making waves in the tournament scene? Well, for one particular event, we had our very own Mr. Harley Scully take the Grey Knights. He took a Stormraven, he took the event down by storm, and he also became an internet meme in the process. So let's find out all about that. So, guys, I am here to introduce Mr. Harley. How the devil are you, sir?
I am not too bad. Had a lovely weekend just gone at the 6 GT. I would highly recommend for anyone that is thinking of going. It's a really good experience. I absolutely loved it, and I actually enjoyed the list I took after dreading using it, which was quite funny.
Yeah, I mean, there was a bit of a build up there to this, Harley. So at one point you were taking Wild Eaters, and then you were like, I could take the Grey Knights. So you ended up on a list which was quite interesting. So I guess we should probably talk first of all. Why did you take Warpbane?
So I had a GT the weekend before the Black Crow GT, and I obviously the Grey Knights had just come out that weekend. Same with the Templars. And to be honest, I read through all the detachments, and some of them are cool, right? They got like neat little things, but none of them beat the pure damage of reroll hits and 6-inch deep strike with charge. It just none of it beat it, and I was just like, I know it as well. I've played it before. As sad as it is, I think it's probably the still best detachment. Just like rerolling all hits, like in combat and shooting, it's just good. It's a good rule. So yeah, I thought I'd use that sort of same detachment that I used last week at the other GT that I've done quite well with, but I thought I'd sort of spice the list up a little bit.
Yeah, there's certainly a few spicy things here in there. And as you say, Warpbane, it turns out if you just re-roll your hits, that's actually quite a powerful thing. Banishers was what a lot of people were talking about because it's got mists and it has, in theory, some nice output of sustained or lethals, as well as an array of other nice strats, but it's just not consistent. Like, re-roll everything, it will just be consistent for sheer volume and output, especially mixing out purifiers and stuff. So let's then go through this list. So librarian, that's going to be with a unit of Terminators for 18-inch low knob, right?
Nah, he's just a little action monkey that sort of drops around the board, sits in the Stormraven, comes out. He's got a decent shooting profile. I'd normally like pick him up, drop him down like 24 away, just sit on a tight line, not be shot back. Yeah, it was just a good little sort of action piece for 80 points, really. I'd probably maybe think about using two instead of one. I think two, if you're going to use any, use two, and if you're not going to, if use them, don't use any at all. I think it's two or nothing.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I know our very own Ed is very keen on three. The argument here, and I haven't actually seen this really discussed in many of the internet channels, is 80 points is potentially a very effective shooting platform. So what? They're D6 plus 3 shots, blast,
Yep.
strength 8 minus 2, 2 damage.
Yeah,
Um,
it's too swingy. Like
yeah.
you
For,
roll a one on the shots, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've killed one marine because they have cover, and it's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
like
That's why you take 3, right?
yeah, and then you use three to kill five marines, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah. But yeah, they potentially can swing up quite nicely and be very efficient. So yeah, so that's a bit of a choice pick already. Then we go down and we've got some more standard stuff. So we've got Crow. Lots of people are taking Crow at the moment. We've then got 3 Grandmasters with Nemesis Dread Knights. I know you love these guys, don't you?
they're so good. The only downfall is how easy they are to kill.
Yeah.
That's literally their only downfall. Their output is so good. Being able to go up rapid ingress for free with free strat, they're so good. Um, Reroll charge, tank shock with a free strat. They're good in combat with the reroll hits, wounds, and damage. The melter is so good. Like this melter is ridiculous. We'll get into it in some of the games, but like it's just such a good profile. Twin linked melter gun when you reroll hits as well.
Yeah,
And honestly, the little rocket shots ain't too bad either. It normally like chips off a last wound on something, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I'd a minimum take 2 or 3 of these guys. They're too good not to take.
yeah, no, absolutely. So we've then got 2 units of strikes for Scout and Sticky. Seems a nice number. 1 unit of interceptors. Again, I just love interceptors. And then here's the source, isn't it? So we've got 10, 5, 5 of purifiers.
Yeah, 10-5-5. They're just too good not to use. Reroll wounds on objectives is nuts. Obviously, you can reroll wounds for 1 CP as well, so you can do it off of the objectives. -2 to charge strat is really nice as well. 6-inch deep strike, just yeah, the possibilities with purifiers is endless. Putting 5 inside the Raven, moving that up, dropping them out, then 6-inch in front of them is such a good play. You can really like alpha people quite hard and just like whack a flank and take it completely. I personally think the purifiers are probably the best unit in the book by far.
So would you be tempted to take more then?
Um, there's a point where like potentially take more, but I think when you're going into the tens, what you're investing is too much. Like the 5 kills what it needs to anyway, really. Like by the time you get it in combat, it just munches things. You shoot like a chaff unit, it kills it. The 10 and crow is nice because it punches up a bit. But if you're taking other 10s, they don't have crow, so they don't become as strong.
Yep.
And they do die really easily still, even though they have the 2-up save. It's still just a marine.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. And then other people might be taking some paladins, for example, but Harley, you've gone for a Stormraven. What's your thinking there?
So my thinking is that in sort of the Josh Roberts list that he was using, it was quite strong. Obviously, it's got a bit more access to sort of survivability and the -1 to hit and wound and AOC. But damage wise, they're not that far off. Obviously, he has the +1 to wound, but we don't. But we reroll against non-oath targets, so we don't have to have the oath to be good. So that means also our Overwatch is quite strong.
Mhm.
And also we have the ability to sort of alpha more with what's inside, obviously getting purifiers in, dropping them out, and then 6-inch in front of them in sanctified zone.
Yeah.
The damage on it is just really good. Obviously, it's different to the Marine one as well. The rockets are D6 plus 2 damage instead of flat 3, and the plasma cannon is flat 3 shots instead of D3, which makes a huge difference when you have blast as well. Just shooting like a 5-man unit and guarantee getting 4 shots is just so much better than rolling a 1 and then you have 2 shots and then you
Yeah.
do nothing. Just flat 4 against a 5-man unit is incredible.
So you would definitely recommend plasma over the las cannons then?
100%. At flat 3 shots, it's not even like close.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I mean, by the time you twin linked anyway into like a bigger target, you probably get more value if it's got an invuln, because if they pass the 4 up on the las cannon, you're like, well, that was fun. If you get maybe 1 or 2 with the plasma, at least you have a better chance at actually getting some damage through.
Cool. Yeah, no. And I guess the other important question about Stormraven is, did you start it on the board in hover or did it come in?
So the reason I was worried about the list beforehand and dreading using it was because I played 2 reps on TTS and lost both games in the week. And both games I tried to start it on the board and I was like, it's huge. It doesn't fit anywhere. It can't move. So I played it in reserve, rapid ingress. It moved it around and it was just like got screened off the board. Didn't do a lot. So I was actually really dreading using it. But as soon as I got into my first game and saw how it actually moved in like the boards on hover, I was like, yeah, this thing's gonna be good. Like straight away. Obviously the base fits through the gaps, and then obviously if they're the low down WTC ruins, you only
Just
have
fly
to pay
over
an
it.
inch to go over it because you're that high. So like the movement was insane with it. Like it was much easier in person. And straight away after the first game I realized that and I was like, okay, this is gonna be good. And in my first game, it was really good. Like I just knew from there it was going to be like have a class weekend,
Yeah.
and it
No.
did, to be honest.
Yeah. So we've got a list, and as you've alluded to, you weren't feeling particularly confident going in. So what we'll do now is we'll break down each game. What we're going to focus on for those of you listening is kind of about thinking about the matchup, but also thinking about the role of the units and kind of how they piece together. We're not going to go blow by blow through each game, otherwise we'll be here forever. But hopefully you guys are going to be able to take something away from this. So we are playing WTC terrain. It is WTC scoring. And your first round was against Gene Stealer Colts, wasn't it, on
Yeah.
Terraform?
Yeah, I was actually a little bit worried about this because they've got a lot of infiltrate and first turn pressure. And my opponent did go first as well, and he deployed in a way that if he got first, he was just going to absolutely send at me. So I did get a little bit worried. But it turns out Gene Stealer Colt died really hard to lots of bolter shots, and it didn't really matter. Um, Basically, he charged in like 10 Gene Stealers, 5 Aberrants, and an Abominant turn 1, killed like 9 Marines, and I was like, okay, slap back. I managed to 6-inch Deep Strike Crow's unit by getting the Purifiers out the Stormraven to get an angle on these 10 Gene Stealers and Patriarch. I wiped that down to 1 man and 1 Gene Stealer. I killed the whole Aberrant squad and the Abominant twice, so it used its second life with a Dread Knight charge in it. Then I also killed the other 10 Gene Stealers. So turn 1, I ended up killing 20 Gene Stealers, 5 Aberrants, and an Abominant. Oh, and the Lone Ops guy, the bomb guy,
Yeah.
by just moving the Stormraven, dropping the Libby out, shooting it.
Nice.
And the Stormraven basically sat behind that big middle L. That's where it moved to turn 1, shot some stuff, and then from turn 2, it pushed towards my expansion at the top and just started seeing down the lines. Turn 3, it actually done a really nice play. It went into that ruin there, that middle ruin, and stuck its wing out the bottom of the ruin and soared down into his DZ and was able to kill a unit.
Nice.
Because obviously it's true line of sight, so if you stick the wing out, it can see. And it's really tall. So it was just really good in this game. It was probably MVP.
Good profiles, right?
Yeah.
All the different things that GSC have to offer.
Yeah, 100%. And also the Purifiers this game, they pick up Aberrants like there's no tomorrow. They're supposed to be like -1 to wound, 5 up, feel no pain. We're really tough. You can't kill me. And I go anti-infantry, 2 up, reroll wounds. And they go, I'm dead.
Sad times.
Yeah.
So in terms of like the macro, if someone was to play into GSC, what sort of things do you think they should be trying to like prioritize?
So I think really it's just getting the angles onto sort of the staging points to make sure they can't stage up with too much of their sort of nasty combat. Because obviously their army rule, it was Biosantic, is the drop charge, and you can negate the drop charge quite comfortably by going -2 to charge, and then their drop charge is now from an 8 to a 10, and they're like, oh god. So you kind of just negate what they do.
Yeah.
So really it's just about sort of don't let them stage in like the top ruin on your expansion or stage too much behind their expansion. Just sort of keeping the flow of the game in your sort of control, because they have a lot more units as well. So you just want to pace the game correctly and make sure you can see into the staging points really. And that's what the Stormraven done. Obviously going behind that middle L with 20 inches of movement, I can take it to see into that sort of L of their expansion.
Yeah.
And then I can get to their expansion with like dropping Purifiers, then 6-inching from there, charging and sort of etc. or a rapid ingress.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Excellent. And this turned out to be quite a big win, right?
Yeah, so it turned out to be 20-0. It was quite a big win, to be fair.
Can't get much bigger.
Yeah, it can't.
So a good strong start there for the Grey Knights, and suddenly Harley's thinking maybe the Stormraven isn't quite so bad. And so we go to mission 2 now. So we've got Purge the Foe, which Grey Knights should be reasonable in. And who have you got now?
I've got our very own Adam Gourlay, and he is on Emperor's Children.
Yep.
When the matchup was sort of there, I was like, I kill Marines quite well. I think I may be okay into this. It was obviously purged and I've got less units. So I was like, okay, if I go second, I feel pretty comfortable in a way, like I should win this game if I just play the tempo correctly.
Yeah.
The Stormraven sat on my home objective between those two ruins, and it could
Mhm.
see my whole expansion. So literally, basically anything he sent to my expansion, the Stormraven could shoot from my deployment zone and not have to move out.
Yeah.
So the first basic two 3 turns was just trade a unit there, trade a unit here. Turn one, Adam sent his Lord and 5 guys to go kill a Strike Marine squad. The Stormraven picked that up because that was on the bottom right big ruin. So they came across that. Then the Stormraven just picked them up. So then I also drew secure an area denial turn one, and I was like, I don't really want that because then I have to give units up on purge on turn two.
Yeah.
So basically, I just moved out a interceptor squad from my bottom L, shot them at the Lord squad, and then 6-inch moved. I had one within 3 at the center, and then stringing out to my expansion to try like move block a little bit. So I only got 2 on secure and 5 on area denial. I didn't go for the full secure because I didn't want to give up 2 units.
Yeah.
Adam then gave me another Lord squad to kill that because he doesn't really kill the Marines too well. And the way I was, he would have had to expose noise Marines otherwise, and he didn't want to do that. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got kill more on both turns just by sitting in my DZ and giving up 1 unit, so it's going well. There was also a point where I think there was a slight mistake from Adam. He basically brought in a Mauler Fiend and 9 away from a Strike Marine squad, and I was able to ingress a Dread Knight next to the Strike Marine squad. So if he charged, I could kill it next turn or heroic.
Yeah.
He charged it, and I thought, you know what? I've got the free strat available. I don't think he didn't have none of these buffs, so I was like, he's hitting on freeze, winning on freeze. I have 4 up invuln. I don't think it kills me here. So I decided to heroic. He fought, done 6 damage, and then I smacked and killed the Mauler Fiend back on his turn.
Nice.
And obviously that was something. So he just didn't get to like do anything with it. And then that also gave me an extra kill, so I didn't have to commit anything on my turn to like get kill more.
Good tempo
So
switch.
yeah, exactly. So it really suited how the game was going. Then from there, Adam basically realized that me going second, I was in a points lead already from getting kill mores. He was going to lose the game. So he tried a push with sort of Demon Prince to that Dread Knight at the bottom sort of ruin. He tried bringing out sort of some Noise Marines. I managed to kill like a Rhino, a Demon Prince, 12 Noise Marines. And at this point, the Stormraven was basically on my expansion. So it had pushed up at that point because I knew I could kill a lot if I'd done it. So I pushed really hard back and killed quite a lot. And then from there, the game was basically set. We knew what was going to happen from there because I had quite a good turn. And yeah, that was really how it sort of played out in the end. And I think it came to a 14-6 win in the end.
Okay, pretty solid then.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of Emperor's Children around, I imagine, as people kind of just see like what they can find. So, what would your advice be when playing into Emperor's Children?
Just always make sure you're winning on the trades. Don't let their Noise Marine squads pick up your 5-mans. If you're going to give a 5-man out, make sure they have to commit either a Demon Prince or a Lord unit to kill it. And if they are killing it, make sure they're killing it in a way that you're going to kill it back.
Yeah.
And don't give them pledges early. That's a massive thing. Don't let them start running up their pledges because then they will hurt you really badly.
Yeah.
In the game, they don't really have the shooting to kill the Stormraven. I mean, if they send all 3 Noise Marine units, maybe. I think it's still swingy because the Blastmasters are damaged 2 with the -1 and they wound on 4s. So if they have no pledges and you play that correct, they shouldn't be able to kill the Stormraven as long as you stay out of combat. So yeah, it's just about keeping the tempo correct, making sure you win your trades and make sure they're committing stuff they don't want to commit, like the Lord units. And I'd say that's pretty much how you take that game. Like the Stormraven in this just sat, killed a unit a turn, and then when he sort of was depleted on stuff, like where on that turn I could kill the 12 Noise Marines, I sent it out because I knew he couldn't kill it from there.
Okay, that's interesting. Nice, very nice. All right. 2-0, baby. 2-0. And we head into mission 3, which is Linchpin. Same terrain, different deployment. So, what did you have for mission 3?
I had Sam on his Blood Angels, and
Mm.
he had a lot of stuff, and he had some guns as well.
Did
Guns that could probably kill a Stormraven, maybe.
it's a terrifying prospect for you for the first time.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I
so
went first.
so how did that pan out?
So I was thinking, right, if I go first, I need to make him commit with units to kill me that I can kill back. So 5 JPIs on average shouldn't kill a 5-man strike unit, as long as you play it correctly in not letting them get the grenade and stuff like that in. So making them use the advance and charge and stuff like that. We played a couple KG turns where basically we were just like tit for tat, trading a unit or two, and then I had a opportunity to go. So I rapid ingress Crow's unit on the middle because he had nothing to shoot there, and then it was also stringing out down towards the bottom objective where he had just brought in a jump captain and 3 Sangard, which had to sort of split attacks and not kill a Dread Knight.
Mhm.
Um, and then he also had 5 JPIs there. And then he had his repulsor on the middle piece of terrain doing sabotage. And he also had 6 Blade Guard in his home, like ruin there. And basically, the way it was the Stormraven was able to get an angle on the 6 Blade Guard in his home ruin. No matter, like, if I went middle, I could have seen it, or if I went down sort of towards the bottom objective, I could see it because of how tall it is. And he couldn't really prevent that because he had 5 JPIs in there as well. So if he wanted to hide, he would have had to been like really far back. And I was like, I basically said to him, I said, look, I can see them. Do you want to adjust it? And he's like, no, you can see me either way. It's fine. And then I shot them with the Stormraven and one shot 6 Blade Guard.
As you do.
That was his push unit to my expansion.
Yeah.
So at this point, I've got 2 Dread Knights on my expansion, facing down his repulsor. They shoot. They put the repulsor down to like 8. No, I think 13 wounds, I think it was. 2 Dread Knights put it to 13 wounds, do 3 damage. Didn't roll well at all on those 2. And I'm like, I don't really want this thing to survive. In behold, the last Dread Knight, he rolls 4 wounds on the wound roll out of 6 hits, and he fails all 4 saves, 12 damage. And I'm like, booyah. And then the melter finishes it. And I'm like, okay, Repulsor dead. So Repulsor dead, 6 Blade Guard dead, 3 Sangard and a Captain dead,
Quite a good
5
turn.
JPI is dead. And I'm like, that's pretty spicy. Then he comes in with all his units. So the 6 Blade Guard get out, the Repulsor move up. I Overwatch, kill 2 or 3 with the Stormraven again. And then he sends basically his Sangard to the bottom objective. He sends his Blade Guard to the bottom objective. And he sends Mephiston to my librarian in the middle. He doesn't have a lot left at this point, so ignores my expansion. I think he sends 5 JPIs into 2 Dread Knights, which was never going to go well, really, at that point. He rolls he spends his CP on a grenade. He probably should have saved it for a reroll charge. He rolls a 2-inch charge on a 4-inch charge. He rolls another 2-inch charge on a 4-inch charge. And then he rolled a 3-inch charge on a 5-inch charge. And he was sat there with his dick out. And then basically, after he failed the 3rd charge, he just put out his hand and went, yeah, shake my hand. He was like, yeah, this game. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. You're tabled after this turn. He just, like, I think if he makes the charges, I still win a small win. Maybe like a 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
But because he failed them, I was able to just table him and then get a 17-point win.
Yeah.
So it basically spiraled out of control. I went for a push. My turn went well. And then he went to hit back and he failed his charges, didn't have CP to reroll. And then, yeah, we didn't play the rest of the game because we just basically talked out the cards because we knew he literally only had 1 unit left after that turn.
Yeah, sure. No, that's fair enough. So obviously his Blood Angels list was a bit different because they had a bit more shooting than normal. But in general, obviously Blood Angels are quite popular in the meta at the moment. What sort of things do you think Grey Knights have to do into Blood Angels?
again, it's similar to all games into like focused armies. You just need to pick your trades well. You pick them up really well, so you always want them sending in something that they don't want to do. 5 JPIs don't kill 5 strikes if you don't allow it to get a grenade. So just work out the threats. Don't let them get a grenade. Make them have to oath. It's AP1 and AP2, so you should really survive. Um, and then just hit them back really. And the Stormraven in this game is so good because he can't stage in that middle ruin because I would be able to see into it if I move. He can't stage in his home ruin because I will see into it if he moves. And yeah, it's just the Stormraven controls this game. It just basically says, right, where are you going to go? If you go there, I can see you. If you go there, I can see you. And obviously, 6 blade guard. I didn't expect it to pick up 6. It's 4 shots from the plasma because obviously flat free. So it's typically 4 hits with reroll hits. It's typically 4 wounds with twin link plasma. So that's 2 dead. The rockets get another. The melter gets another. It's 4. Maybe the hurricane bolter gets 1 more. So it's like 5 dead on average, I think. 4 to 5. Which at that point, if I kill 4 or 5, I'm happy because he still can't take on 2
Yeah,
dreadnoughts with 1 or 2. But obviously just picking up the repulsor as well. And this is where the I know the Psy Cannon popped off, as I said, but this is where the twin linked melters just go so well into stuff with no invuln. You just go,
mhm.
oh, 2 hits because I reroll. Oh, 1 wound. Oh, I twin linked and get another wound. 2 AP4s, please. Oh, 2d6 damage. That's how it feels every time the melters shoot, honestly.
Yeah,
Or at least 1 wound goes through, really, with twin linked. It's basically 4 chances to wound it if you think about it.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's just about controlling the tempo against Blood Angels because they have got more stuff. So you just need to make them overcommit in areas.
No, lovely, excellent. So you finished the day 3-0. What a time to be alive! And then it happens. There's one match you've been trying to avoid. Mr. Alex Fowler just recently off of a very lovely run at WTC with England. He's well repped from Thousand Suns, and you've drawn into him. So, what were your thoughts going into this game, and how did it go?
My first thoughts were, I don't like this 4-up feel no pain against Psychic. I can't kill him.
Yeah,
My second thoughts were, okay, I've looked at the board. It's not as bad as I first thought. I can hold my expansion, and if he tries to deny it, he has to give me units he doesn't want to give me.
mhm,
So I went into the game not confident, but I felt like I had a chance to do something, like to maybe make a play at some point. And basically, I went first and I was like, oh, I really wanted second in this game. I feel like if I get second, I can set the tempo quicker, going up and staying up and ingressing because he doesn't have a lot to screen.
no,
So I feel like I needed second to set the tempo in this game. So I went first and I was like, not what I want. I basically just played really cagey, put 5 strikes on my expansion, just moved the Stormraven into a line where only 1 Mutilith could see. And I'm like, if you do that, that's fine because you can't kill it, and then I'll be able to kill your Mutilith in return. And then I move strikes into that middle sort of ruin there. Not strikes, inceptors, sorry, and do a sabotage. His turn 1 comes, he sends 10 Zangors to deny my expansion, which I fully expected. I one-shot them with the Stormraven, as expected. My turn, I pick up 2 Dread Knights and 10 Purifiers without Crows with 5 this game. And I basically say, that's going to stay in reserve and wind you up.
yeah,
I make a really funny play here that actually was quite good. That quite annoyed Alex. I said it was going to be really annoying, and he was like, "What is it?" And I was like, "Just wait and see." The Inceptors moved from inside that ruin into his expansion, shot 6 goats, grenaded 6 goats, killed 4, and then just moved back behind the wall to create a screen. And I think I had area denial, so I put 1 on the middle to get 5 points. And the angles to shoot that Inceptor squad were not great for him. It was basically give me units to do it.
yeah,
And he, in all fairness, his turn came. I had five strikes on my expansion and Crow's unit. he sends the Sorcerer's unit to kill Crow, which I think was a fair trade. I think I was expecting that to happen. So he does that. He kills Crow's unit. He kills the 5 Inceptors. I ingress a Dread Knight on, not on the middle objective, but like between that crate and that objective. And my turn comes, and I'm like, right, you've denied me 10 primary over 2 turns. The secondaries are even. You're going second. I'm going to lose this game. This is singles. We ball. So at this point, I move that Dread Knight up to see a Mutalith on his expansion. I drop in 2 more Dread Knights to see another Mutalith that sort of took a tight line to see my Inceptor on the middle objective. I drop 5 Purifiers on the middle. Deep Strike 6 in front with the 10 man, which gave me an option to shoot 6 Bogoats and his Lone Op Sorcerer and have a 9-inch charge into his 2 damage Infernal unit that was at the back trying to stay away. Stormraven moves into the middle as well because I'm like, if I'm going, everything has to go. We can't leave anything behind here, so everything goes. And I'm like, right, let's try and get some damage. I kill 6 goats and the sorcerer. I finish the other 2 goats. I kill the sorcerer's unit and the sorcerer and the rubrics on my expansion with the Stormraven. I kill both Mutaliths. With basically the melters doing what they do, a Dread Knight finishing 1 in combat. 1 Mutalith explodes and does 6 damage to Magnus.
Nice.
And I was like, okay. And I'm like, right, if I hit this 9-inch charge into this rubric squad with the Infernal Master, I think I'm in a pretty tidy position here. Like,
yeah.
I've got a lot of stuff in your face. I don't think you'll kill me this turn. Like, enough of me. And obviously, I had no CP to reroll. I failed the 9. I can't really complain. It's a 9-inch charge with no CP.
Yeah.
I took the gamble. It didn't work. He came out, killed a lot of me. Didn't kill the Stormraven because he didn't have enough to kill it. I basically then just went round fishing for points and managed to draw out the game to a 13-7 loss, which I think is respectable going first on a matchup that I'm not too keen on playing.
Yeah.
So I was quite happy with how it played out. I think I played it quite well. Alex done what Alex does really with T-Sons. He just knows them so well, and he done what he had to do really. Stormraven was really good. Not having the psychic keyword is amazing. You can't 4-up, feel no pain against it.
Did Alex go for the feel no pain a lot?
Oh yeah. Like every time basically I shot. It came to turn 4 and he had killed 2 Dread Knights and 1 was left on 3 wounds. I moved 2 Purifiers that he decided to overwatch. And I was like, okay, now I can move my Dread Knight towards Magnus, who's on 10 wounds. I shot the Psy Cannon at his Crystal unit and the Stormraven, killed his Crystal unit, which is quite nice because then that meant I didn't have to screen my home field. And then I was like, right, Magnus is on 10 wounds. I'm going to charge him with the Dread Knight, but fuck it. Let's shoot the melters there because I'm in melter range. 2 hits, 1 wound. He fails to save. He's got a CP to blank it. Or he's basically saving the CP to 4-up Feel No Pain when the Dread Knight charges him in combat against the reroll hits, wounds, and damage. I'm like, Alex, this melter is D6 plus 4 damage. You're on 10 wounds, mate. Are you sure you don't want to blank this? And he dead straight looks me in the face going, no. And I go, okay, rolled a 6 and just one-shot Magnus with the melter. And I was like, you should have blanked that. Not that it mattered for the game. It was just hilarious.
Yeah, it's just a nice little
I just
moment.
one-shot Magnus with it. I was just like, are you sure you don't want to blank it? No, dead.
What are the chances?
It was a funny moment. Obviously, it didn't matter too much. It probably helped me get a couple more points, to be fair. It actually stopped me getting Storm Hostile by charging onto the objective.
That was his master plan.
But it was a glorious moment, to be honest. Alex was a pleasure to play, and yeah, I'm quite happy with how the game went. I don't think it's a game I'd look for, to be honest.
Yeah. No, it doesn't feel like it, especially with their ability to nullify with the Feel No Pain stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's sad times. We're not hunting for ultimate glory, but we can still hunt that podium. So round 5, We've got Taken Hold, and we are playing into our very own Paul, who's on MSU Space Wall.
So much stuff.
So much stuff.
So much stuff. So again, I went first, and I'm like, oh, not again. Why do I have to go first? And Paul deployed 3 Thunderwolf Cav on the ruin, and I did say to him I can see them because obviously the Stormraven sees down. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for them because I don't think 2 repulsors, normal repulsors, not executioners, will one-shot the Stormraven when it has cover. I'm like, I think I'll be fine. I can get a nice little trade early because he's got so much stuff. Let me just start killing it. And they were the things closest to my expansion. So I was like, if I kill them, put some strikes on the objective, I'm going to hold primary and he's not going to get there. It's worth the trade. And I was also thinking, he had 1 repulsor set to go down to his expansion and 1 to go to mine. I'm like, if he sends the other one to shoot the Stormraven, then he's giving up his expansion for at least a turn or 2. So I was like, I think I'm just going to let him shoot it. Like, I don't think he kills this. He goes, right, Harley, I'm going to kill it just to wind you up. I don't care if I win or lose this game. And I was like, okay, all right, don't do this, Paul, because it's going to go bad if you don't kill it. He oaths it. He moves both repulsors to one side of the board. And I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. He shoots the first one. He hits with both Las Talons, which is expected because he's got Oath. He wounds with both, and I was like, okay, 4s to wound. Maybe you can wound twice. And I'm like, right, 2 5-up saves. Okay, fail both. Brilliant. I think he rolls like a 1 and a 3 on the damage. And I'm like, okay, that makes up for it. He's like, right, CP reroll the 1. Rolls it into a 2. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't matter because it's -1 damage.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm like, okay, so I think I was down to like 7 wounds after he shot like that whole repulsor. Or 9. I think it might have been 9. And he was like, right, the second one. And he hits and wounds with both Las Talons. And I'm like, oh, again? Fail both saves. Again? And then it's down to like, I think it was down to like 6 wounds. And then he shot the last cannon, hit, wounded. And I'm like, right, save, fail. Failed the save again. I'm like, right, this is getting ridiculous. CP reroll. Fail the save again. And I'm just like, he's actually going to do it. He put it down to 3 wounds with the las cannon. I'm like, okay, I should be fine. And then he goes, bolters. Fires like 1,000 bolter shots with lethal hits. Does like 6 wounds and I fail 3 saves. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's actually died. Yeah, it died turn 1, and it killed 2 Thunderwolf Cav. And I'm like, that's not a good trade for this game at all.
It's not ideal, really. It's not ideal. And it left you with a bit of a stunned expression on your face, which has obviously gone around all of our WhatsApp groups anyway.
Apparently every WhatsApp group at this point.
So I'll put the picture on screen now for all of our wonderful viewers. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one doing the rounds. So you lost your Stormraven. You haven't lost that before. You've now lost quite an important gun platform, which is really great at killing Marines. So your back's massively up against the wall here, it would seem. So how did you play your way out of trouble?
I was just focusing on like points at this point and denying him going first. So I'm like, okay, Crow stays up in the sky. He was with 5 again this game. I'm like, right, keep him in the sky till I get a good spot for ingress. I had 10 Purifiers down behind that bottom middle ruin, and I had the Libby there. He pushes loads of stuff onto his expansion. I send 2 Dread Knights down to see his Impulsor. I kill the Impulsor. 10 Purifiers kill 5 Head Takers in shooting. I then charge 3 Wolves on his expansion, kill the 3 Wolves. So, and I also got the Phobos Lieutenant turn 1. Turn 2, I think, with being able to drop my 10 Purifiers, 6-inch 5 in front, then 6-inch charge it to deny his primary and get like sort of tucked in. So I ended up killing quite a lot on his expansion and sort of, I charged the Dread Knight into the middle into 5 Wolfen. So basically the way it was, the Dread Knight couldn't screen the objective, so he ingressed Logan onto the point. And I'm like, right, Logan's OC1, Wolfen are OC1, Dread Knight just has to get in, kill 2 guys, 2 Wolfen to deny the primary. Absolutely fine. Charge in, kill 1 Wolfen, he smacks me back, puts me down to 3 wounds, and I'm like, what the fuck is this, Paul? Um,
Yeah, Harley wasn't very happy. As a TO of an event, it was quite clear to me that Harley was a bit irritated with Paul doing Paul things.
Paul was just doing Paul things. And then I think, like, on my expansion, he charged one wolf into 5 strike marines, killed all 5, and I had to end up spending a CP to re-roll a save to keep my expansion. And I'm like, how is one Thunderwolf killing 5 marines with no oath or anything? And this was like the turn just after not killing the wolf and in the middle. And I'm just like, what is going on, man? Just like these little things that normally, if like 4 die, I'm not fussed because
Yeah,
then I don't have to spend a CP. If I kill 2 wolf and in the middle, I don't care because I deny the primary. Like, I only want to kill 2. I don't care about killing the unit. I just want to kill 2. And then I rapid ingress Crow behind basically the middle right L and managed to take his home on turn 3 or 4. And he has to send Ragnar all the way back to deal with that. And it comes down to turn 5, and I'm like in the lead by a decent amount. If Paul gets his secret mission, not secret, if Paul gets his challenger card,
yeah,
a 15, overwhelming force, and established locus, it's a 10-10. It would end 88-83. And I'm like, please don't jam your way into this, Paul. Please don't do it. I'm just thinking, oh my God, if he does this, I probably am just going to cry. So he moves Bjorn to do establishing my deployment. Step 1 done. Step 2, he basically has to kill a Dread Knight on his expansion that made a 9-inch charge and killed a repulsor. Hero. I was so happy when I made a 9 back against him. I was like, yeah, fuck you, Paul. And then basically he has to kill the Dread Knight on his expansion to get to get a 15 and to get overwhelming force. And he has to kill that and the Libby to get his challenger card. The first thing that happened was he shot the Libby with the repulsor and didn't kill it. So straight after that, I knew how I'd won the game because he couldn't get his challenger card. So it was 88-80 at worst. So I was like, okay, it's 11-9 at worst. Phew. And then he had to make, basically, I overwatched 3 head takers and a character killed like 2 head takers. And I'm like, okay, they probably don't kill the Dread Knight unless he makes a 9-inch charge with his Wolfen as well. And I'm like, Paul, 9-inch charge matters, probably does it. And basically, he made the head taker's charge, and then when he didn't make the 9-inch charge with the Wolfen, I just burst out and went, "Fuck you, Paul!" Just
what a charmer! What a charmer you are!
Paul knows me. Paul knows I'm only joking with him, but
Yeah,
Paul is known for making 9-inch charges. So when he didn't make that 9-inch charge, I was like, even though I had won the game at that point, I was just so happy. I was like, thank God he just didn't do it again.
yeah.
But that list was hard, man. So many little units, so many transports. It was rough. Space Wolves, I don't like. I don't think I'd be looking for that matchup too much, especially when they kill your Stormraven turn 1 and that's one of your best damage pieces into them.
Yeah.
Because if you think head takers don't have an invuln, that plasma cannon just rips through head takers. Same with the melters, same with the rockets. It just rips the head takers apart.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you don't have a Stormraven, then you're not ripping much apart. You're
No.
probably getting ripped apart.
Do all the shenanigans that you can.
Yeah, exactly. And just picking up, teleporting away from him, running around, denying primary. Just good old 40k fundamentals came into play after losing that. I just had to play the game and not go for a big score, try kill him really after that happened.
No, I think it's. I think you must have played it really well to get that win after losing the Stormraven. So well done. And in fact, you did so well that you managed to come third, didn't you? Not
I
bad.
did.
Not bad for the list you didn't want to play. So third out of 42, 4-1. First place went to Alex on Thousand Suns, who went 5-0. Second place was Byron, who went 4 wins and a draw. How do you think you would have played into the Demons, Byron's Demons?
Oh, I think I have a fun time.
Yeah,
It's just big stuff with no armor save. It's just invuln. Stormbolters with reroll wounds.
just Does the job.
It's just so many shots, right?
People making loads of saves.
And
Yeah,
then the Dread Knights go reroll hits, wounds, and damage. Haha.
yeah,
I think I out tempo that, and I think I'm fine into that. To be
excellent.
honest, and I looked back at my games over the weekend and look at it. I had 5 hard rounds.
Yeah,
Like all the players I played were very good players.
yep.
Um, and yeah, it was a hard weekend, hard fought games, but managed to do the 4-1 and get a podium with the list. And the list felt really solid. To be honest, the Stormraven felt amazing. I was really impressed with it over the weekend. It just done what I expected it to do, really, but it actually outperformed itself at sometimes, apart from round 5. But like every other round, it was just outperforming itself. Like every game, people did not enjoy it because they didn't. The way it was played was they didn't have enough where it was going to kill it, so they just wouldn't bother
What's the point in
shooting.
shooting at it? Yeah,
Because if they shoot that and don't kill it,
wasting
then they're
time.
gonna get jumped on by other things.
Yeah,
And the only person that said "fuck that," I'm gonna shoot it was Paul, and he killed it.
classic Paul.
Uh,
Yeah, so you really like the Stormraven. So walking through this, so just so we understand, so we've got the librarians doing like action monkey, picking up things. Purifiers were kind of your damage pieces. How did you play this little section here of 2 strikes and an intercept unit? Like, what was their role in the list, and what did they do?
so one strike squad would sit on the home, sticky
Yep,
it. One strike squad would typically, depending on board, would either deploy towards my expansion to scout, move on, and sticky, or go towards my opponent's expansion to OC deny, depending if they're a high OC army or not.
yep,
Inceptors were usually there for a turn 1 score to make people commit something to where the Stormraven could then kill it quite comfortably. So maybe I get an area denial, a cleanse, an establish, a sabotage, just secondaries where I can do it and be in an annoying position to be killed back.
mhm.
So they were basically my early game sort of
Okay,
tempo
so I was
set.
going to say, so what would a general game look like? So, turn one, are you happy throwing away 1 unit turn one and then 1 unit turn two? And if you've only lost like those 2 units, you're feeling in a good place. Like, what was the kind of the attritional rate as the battle rounds went on? When were you like, unless you were decided to all in someone, if you're playing that bit more of a standard game, what sort of things were you looking to lose at what pace?
So typically the Inceptors go quite early because they move fast, so they can just get me
What's-
points or
yeah,
deny something. So they'd typically be going out early, turn 1, turn 2. The second Strike Marine squad would typically also go out, turn 1, turn 2, go on my expansion to draw a commitment.
yep,
Then I'd say I typically going turn 2, turn 3. I have something in the air to ingress, and then basically where I would go in is I would look for somewhere on the board where I can strike quite heavily, and I'd normally move the Stormraven there, drop out Purifiers, 6-inch Deep Strike Crow, drop Dread Knights, probably ingress one, just kill loads of shit on that side, and then start working my way across the board from there.
pretty standard Grey Knight tactic, isn't it? It's like don't commit too early, don't commit loads of stuff. Wait for that moment where you can isolate part of the board, hit it with your damage dealing stuff in such a way that you can kill a lot but not get hurt back really,
Yeah.
and then kind of hopefully push on from there.
Yeah, I mean, like everything in the list, if you take away strikes and inceptors, everything else in that list does incredible damage.
Yep.
So whatever happens, if you lose the 10 purifiers, you still have damage. If you lose the Dread Knight, you still have damage. It doesn't matter which ones you are forcing commitments with. Typically, I'd put Crow with 5 purifiers because that makes him as deadly as a 10-man, and people won't focus it as much because
Hmm.
they'd rather kill the 10-man still.
Yeah.
So I'd typically put him with 5, and I would have that as a secondary sort of damage piece, and I'd make people sort of commit quite big to the 10-man. I'd go quite aggressive with it, I'd say. Going in for those charges, going in to sort of shoot a unit, kill a unit, charge a unit, kill another unit. So get its points worth, and then like 4 up invuln it to try keep it alive, or -2 to charge it. And then typically whatever they commit, I'd normally ingress a Dread Knight or ingress Crow's unit and have the Stormraven ready to move over there to sort of answer it. The 10 Purifiers, yeah, I didn't really care too much if they died or not. They died literally every game. I just made sure they always got their points worth out of what they were getting. Because typically you get 2 units with them. You get a unit in shooting and a unit in combat. And if you work that trade out right, you're always going to get 250 points. And then whatever they commit back is normally going to be an additional points that after you kill that additional stuff that comes to kill them, they're not going to be able to handle the Dread Knights and Stormraven.
No, that makes sense. You say you put Crow of the 5. Was that something that developed as the weekend went on as a game plan, or was it matchup dependent?
Matchup dependent, and I've done it a lot last weekend in some of my games. Another thing to obviously realize is the 5-man fits in smaller gaps than the 10-man. So getting Crow in, having that amount of shots still with a 5-man is really good. You can 6-inch in tighter gaps. Obviously, basically, the way the 10 goes is with the 10, even if it's got Crow or even if it doesn't have Crow, people focus it. So for me, I'd rather remove Crow from that, put him in a 5 to make a 5 really deadly, and then they focus the 10 anyway, and then the 5 just gets more play.
That makes perfect sense. And I think a lot of people just instinctively put Crow of the 10 because that means more shots, right?
You
But
normally kill what you shoot anyway.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess if you're playing into, I don't know, ACDC, do you need Crow in the 10 then?
I don't even know. Your storm bolters do loads.
Yeah.
It's still 40 storm bolt shots and 10 purifying flames into ACDC. It's still a lot. And then you charge it and finish it because you're always going to get the charge as well. Well, as long as you roll a 6-inch re-rollable if you play it right. Obviously that is failable, so that is a break point.
We know how that goes.
Yeah. But yeah, like the 5 and Crow kills a lot of stuff as well. Like it's 10 shots, so it's got the same amount of pure and flames as the 10. Little less on the Stormbolt shots. Well, it's actually got 14 purifying flames. It's got more because Crow's in it.
Yeah.
And then obviously it just fits in nicer spaces. The ingress is nice on it. And then you just have 2 really good units. And then people focus killing that. And then they'll also then go to focus killing a 5 instead of Dread Knights and stuff like that. And if they don't kill the Crow and they go for the Dread Knights instead, then Crow just runs riot. Like, yeah, I think it's good. List improvements wise, I want to test the list with 2 Stormravens.
2 Stormravens. Why? Why on earth would you want to spend 560 points on 2 Stormravens?
Because if you have 2, it's even harder to kill and more damage.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if people were struggling to deal with 1 in team's aspect, if you pair it right, God knows what 2 does. Especially if you play 1 each side of the board, you literally say to your opponent, you can't stage in that ruin, or that ruin. Where do you want to play this game?
Do you worry about, obviously, so you have to lose stuff to get that Stormraven in. So what are you losing?
So I mathed up a list earlier that I think I'm quite happy with. I need to test it, but I feel like it's got a lot of mid-board pressure and still the damage. So you drop Crow and the Libby and a Grandmaster Dread Knight. So that is 170, 395 points straight away.
Yeah.
You drop a Strike Squad down to 1. And then that is where the dropping of stuff stops. You add an extra Stormraven. You add an extra Interceptor Squad for that extra early game pressure. And then you add a Subductor Squad.
Cool. Subductors are something that's become all the rage recently. They're an Imperial Agents unit. Why are people talking about Subductors then?
It's 11 guys with a 3-up armor save and a 4-up invuln.
For 100 points?
They're 10 points a model. Well, not even that because there's 11. You're just always going to force a commitment that people don't want to commit to it. Like, if they shoot like something silly at it, it's not going to kill it and you're just going to hold the point. If they charge something silly at it, it's still 10 bodies with a 3-up save or a 4-up invuln. Like, it's just annoying to kill.
Yeah.
And then you're normally going to get your points back for it. The only worry with the list is how two Stormravens function depending on terrain set. You could even go one in reserve and one in hover, and then you have one flying around the board, like pivoting and going wherever it wants, and then you have one moving, and then yeah, that could be a nice little idea that I need to test really.
So, for people who aren't absolutely mental and don't want to take two Stormravens, are there any amendments to this particular one Stormraven list that you would like to make? You just played WTC, so obviously a lot of our listeners play UKTC. Do you think this list functions well on UKTC, and are there any minor amendments you would make to it?
So I think the Stormraven still works on UKTC. If you're looking to play a list without the Stormraven, which I did last week on UKTC terrain, I would look at probably a 10-man Inceptor unit because it was quite good, because it can get from your L to their L.
Yeah.
I'd look at probably more Dread Knights for a bit more firepower. You could look at more Purifiers. Purifiers are always good, or you could even up the Libbies. The only worry I have with UKTC is I feel like those boards want a good infiltrate unit, and we don't really have that, which is a bit of a shame. So
You have to dip into agents, don't you, and have the
one of the assassins, right? Or
well, there's is it the rogue
yeah, the rogue Traegers.
brick? You can have like a big, long unit that infiltrates and then picks up at the end of deployment, so you can just block out all infiltrating space with them.
Yeah, um, even that, it's just I think infiltrate on UKTC is really good. So maybe looking at the agents to get something in there. But I think a Stormraven's great on UKTC. I personally, I don't think I'll play Grey Knights without Stormraven at the moment. I think it's that good.
That is a bold claim, Harley. That is the sort of stuff we are here for. And I think actually that's probably the best place to end it. Just don't play Grey Knights without Stormraven.
Don't do it.
Okay, here's a different question then. If you're not playing Warp Bane, is the Stormraven still worth it?
No.
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 Got to
You
have
just,
those rerolls to get
it just becomes so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got 4 shots. I hit once. Oh no! Whatever will
Yeah.
I do? It just too unreliable. You don't have enough shots to make it worth it without the rerolls. It's just Warbane is the Grey Knight detachment to play. Other Grey Knight detachments are fun. They're quirky. They're like, yeah, you've got some nice tricks, but ultimately you don't do damage and you don't kill stuff, and you will have the same downfall every time of a stat check. With this list, you say, oh, you're a stat check. Oh, your stat check's dead. Like, the damage in this
That was the overriding theme by both Harley and his opponents, which was, wow, they sure do kill a lot.
everyone was like,
Everyone was like, wow.
what is this damage? Why does it kill me so well? And I'm like, it's rerolls hits, it's a drug. And then reroll wounds on purifiers and basically the Stormraven because it's all twin linked, except the rockets. It's just rerolls. The most worst thing about this army is the amount of dice you have to roll, because you reroll everything and you have to roll every Stormbolter shot because every shot matters when you reroll everything.
Yeah. And if that isn't a first world problem, I don't know what is. So we'll end it there. Thank you very much, Harley. Well done on your third place. As you know, we are the place for Grey Knight content. I'm going to be taking them to LGT. We've got a few other videos planned as well. So keep an eye out for lots of Grey Knight content. But thank you very much for joining, Harley. And we will see you all very soon. Take care.
Bye.